Hi everyone, this is Gabrielle from Penn State Campus Recreation, Fitness, and Wellness, and I'm here today to lead you through a 45-minute Pilates workout. So we're going to start right at 12. I recommend that you have a mat in an open space free from furniture and different obstacles or objects that could get in the way. Also, I'm going to be using a light set of hand weights. If you have something that you could use as hand weights along or around the house, please grab them. Soup cans, water bottles, anything like that. Don't need them. I just like to incorporate a little bit of arms into Pilates, so we'll be using the weights to do that. And again, this is a Pilates workout. So if at any point you feel dizzy or shortness of breath, feel free to stop doing that. Again, because we're virtual, we're not in person, just being really mindful of how our body's feeling and reacting to different exercises is really important. If you ever feel total discomfort too, feel free to stop. And I'll be offering different modifications and progressions throughout the workout so you can take advantage of those and just, again, do whatever is best suited for your body today. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's start seated on our mat. Just go ahead, cross one leg over the other. Place the hands on the knees. Sit up nice and tall. Give a little shoulder roll to the back of the room. And let's just start by becoming familiar with our presence. So you can close the eyes here briefly if you'd like. And just notice. So maybe you're not in a usual place where you work out. Let's just get familiar with this setting. And then starting to pay attention and bring that awareness to our breath. So again, there's finals going on, different last bits for school and work this week. Observing our breath right here, not trying to change it, but just being aware of how it is at the moment before we get into our lateral Pilates breath. And this next pause here, just pause and think of an intention or something you hope to achieve together during our time together today. On your inhale, breathe in that intention, fill the lungs. And exhale again away those outside distractions or worries that we were talking about. Again, inhale, fill the lungs with intention. Exhale, outside distraction. And just because it might be some of our first time ever taking Pilates class, go ahead and place your fingertips on your rib cages. Again, deep breath in, feeling the fingertips separating, and then exhale as our fingertips come out together with that big inhale and exhale. Again, inhale, and exhale. Let's take one more breath in. And we're gonna hold the breath in, but keep breathing. So now our fingertips aren't moving. It's a nice tight core so that our ribs can only contract to the sides, not out and in, like that ballooning breath before. And this is our lateral breathing. So because in Pilates we're focusing on our core, this lateral breath really protects our low back in the movement. So it's nice and strong and sturdy. If you're gonna talk, it almost sounds like this because you're controlling that core, pulling it in nice and tight. Let's go ahead and extend the feet in the front of our mat. Arms come again as well. Inhale, prepare. Exhale as our left arm reaches to the back of the room. Eye gaze follows. Exhale together. Again, opposite hand reaches to the back of the room. Exhale together. In our seated side twist. So we're just reaching for the back of the room and again, beginning to engage our obliques or the side of our core. We're feeling our sit bones firmly rested on that mat. And we're creating, again, this little warm-up to just gradually increase the heart rate, focus on intention and breath, and prepare us for the rest of our workout ahead. Let's go 2 more to each side at your own pace. And after that last one, we're gonna go ahead and meet at center, just pausing with the arms and legs. Beautiful job, so there. Arms capital T position, arms open up, legs open up to a V shape. Go ahead, inhale, prepare. Exhale as your right hand reaches down towards your left foot. Inhale at center, exhale opposite hand, opposite foot. Inhale back up to center in our Pilates saws. So again, just warming up here, so don't worry about how maybe flexible your body's doing at the moment. Just warming up the muscle groups. And starting to synchronize again that breath to our movement. It's that constant we have with us no matter what. So going into finals, best tool you can have is your breath. Anytime you're stressed studying, slow down that breath. Give time for the exhales to be longer than the inhales just provides relaxation to the body. Just a little tip going into final. So again, let's go 2 more to each side right here. Again, at your own pace. And then we'll meet holding again at the top. Beautiful job once we're there. Let's bend the knees in at center. Fingertips come behind the glutes. And let's press the hips toward the ceiling. This is our reverse table. We're going to bend the elbows, lower the glutes to a hover, and press back up. So good. Inhale, lower. Exhale, press in our reverse table where we're engaging our tricep muscles. So keeping that chin off our chest. Weight in our heels. Just lower to a hover and press right back up. Beautiful job. Just to conclude our warm-up right here. Let's go for 4. Last 2. And then let's go ahead and hold this next one in a hover above the floor. 1-inch pulses up and down with the arms. Again, try to resist touching the glutes to the mat. Keep in mind our breath guiding us through the movement. Just for 4, 2, and 1. Exhale, release. Beautiful job. Let's cross the legs. Let's bring our hands to the mat, and let's step back into our first plank of the day. So nice flat back, all the way from the crown of our head to our tailbone. You could rest your favorite steady drink on your back, and it wouldn't move because of how still and aligned that body is right here. Gonna focus on pressing the fingertips into the mat to protect our wrists. And if you'd like an option, feel free to come onto the knees if this full plank is not available to you today. Slight bend in the elbows. And we're gonna go ahead and add a little rock forward and back. So just a 1-inch movement. Our eye gaze shifts a couple inches in front of our fingertips on the mat. And our heels move a little bit forward and back as well. And just adding that a little bit of longitudinal movement here. But the back and body stays nice and flat still. Breathing into the parts of our body connected with the mat anytime our mind wanders. So breathe into the fingertips and toes. Let's hold for 4 more rocks. 3, 2, and last one, just pause for a second, and let's drop the right knee to the mat, left arm and side body open up to the side into our kickstand position. So go ahead, inhale, prepare, exhale, lift the leg, couple inches away from the mat, and lower back down to the mat or to a hover in our kickstand lifts. So our core is pulling in again nice and tight. It's that firm lateral breath. Sounds like this if you're talking because you're controlling the core to really engage this movement. And our foot is slightly in front of the rest of our body with our leg as well. Our hip lifts towards the ceiling. If you're feeling discomfort here, you can take this into a sideline variation on our forearm. Whatever option it is, we're engaging our outer thigh, lift, and lower. So in movements like this, it's never about the distance we're covering in movement with our foot or leg. It's about the control we're feeling in the muscle group we're targeting. So again, our core is working really hard to stabilize our body, but we're engaging our outer thigh with this lift. In 3, 2, we're gonna hold this next one at the top, holding the foot. We're gonna lower 2 inches to the front of our mat, raise back in center, lower 2 inches behind, raise back at center. So it's exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, making a little triangle shape with our foot. Again, pressing the fingertips into the mat, using the rest of our body to be nice and still and stable. 2 more triangles wherever you're at with your own pace. And then let's meet holding at the top, 1-inch circles with the toe. This is our last change in this position in kickstand, so show me what you got. Using the rest of the body to hold still to draw 1 circle with the toe, 3, 2, and reverse. Same thing, other direction. So if you're going clockwise, counterclockwise, little circles for 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, let's come on. Both knees onto the mat, resting on our forearm. Legs and knees are stacked. Go ahead, inhale, prepare. Exhale, the hips press up toward the ceiling. Inhale as they return to the mat. So press, exhale, inhale, lower, and our side body hip dips. So we're focused on our obliques here. So pressing the hips and rib cages of our side body to the ceiling, and then coming back down onto the mat. So feeling the hip, create that space away from our mat as it lifts, and slowly lowering back down. Again, breath is so important in a mind body class, especially Pilates. Exhale, press, inhale, lower. So that synchronization of our breath to movement creates a harmony really in the body. Powerful tool. Let's go for 3 more wherever you're at. Last 2. And then let's hold our last one at the top right here. So option to stay here in this side plank variation. You can extend one leg to the back of your mat or both. Staying on your forearm. If you'd like to come to your wrist too, you can. Extending the top hand to the ceiling. Again, whatever option you need. We're holding at the top. Lifting the hip toward the ceiling. Our last change, engaging our oblique on this side for this segment right here. You got it. Breathe into the foot and forearm. Reach the hip a little higher. Almost there. 5 more breaths, just like this. And on that last one, slowly lower back to the mat. Great job. You're gonna bring the feet behind our body, coming onto the knees. So this is the time if you have those hand weights, go ahead and find them, place them in each hand. We're gonna lower the glutes to a hover above our heels as the hand weights curl up toward our shoulders, and then lift up, hand weights lower down. So lower the glutes, extend forward, hips are square to wherever we're facing. These are our floor squats, and we're just adding that little bicep curl in as well. So keeping the elbows nice and close to the side, slowly lowering to a hover, pressing back up as we resist gravity on the way down and use our control principle, one of our 6 Pilates principles, to press back up. So if I show you this from the side, lowering to a hover, pressing back up. Just making sure that our elbows are nice in by our sides and that our fingertips aren't pressing too much into the weights to kind of take away any of the focus from our biceps. So our quads are really engaged in these floor squats. Again, our knees are hip distance apart. Lower and lift, either staying here with your arms or going into a little shoulder press. So lower the glutes, press those hand weights toward the ceiling, goal post position with the arms slightly in front of the rest of the body. Inhale as you lower, exhale as you press. Tight core. Let's go for 3, 2, and let's hold our next one at the top. Let's do 2 really slow together. So lower, 2, 3, 4, lift, 2, 3, and 4. One more really slow, down. Breathe in. Exhale, come up. Great job. Go ahead and lose those hand weights to the side, but keep them somewhat close by for later. And we are going to come back into another plank. So I'm gonna face the other way just for sake of the plan. Press the fingertips into the mat, step it back. Remember your options on the knees, on the toes, flat back. Another option always coming onto those forearms, really close to our center of gravity. But whatever option we choose, there's still that straight alignment from our head all the way to the top of the tailbone. So keep it pressed up. It's parallel to whatever surface is above us. This is the ceiling, nice and flat. Hold. An option to add a leg lift, rotating, driving that right heel and left toward the ceiling. We're keeping the rest of the body nice and stable. Let's go for 3. Last 2. And then on our last one, exhale back to the mat. Let's find our left hand on the mat this time. Right leg well, and going into our kickstand on the other side. So we go ahead and lift and lower. with, again, the opposite side. That leg is slightly in front of the rest of the body. Engaging the outer thigh over here. So always important to notice differences in sides of the body. So maybe the side does a little different than the other, and that's totally okay. Just being aware of it and working through it. So again, in Pilates, precision is one of our other principles. So focusing on making these movements purposeful, trying to go to that similar motion each time, not forcing, and using that concentration principle. As you see that foot drawing that line, same line motion each time. You know our change is coming. Let's hold the top in 3, 2, holding this one at the top, little triangle. So forward on our exhale, lower, inhale, lift, back, and lift. Same imaginary circle, triangle each time. It's that shape of the A you're gonna get on your finals this week, right? And on your report cards coming up, right? You got this, let's go. A few more each side. For 3, 2, and on this last one, let's see, holding at the top, going to 1-inch circles with the toe. Woo. So we're building up on this side. You know, last little change here in 3, 2, and 1. Reverse, same circle, other direction. Rest of the body nice and still. Of course, pulling in so tight to keep our body still. Just for 3, 2, and 1. Let's drop onto the knees. Coming onto the opposite forearm, knees are stacked, lift that hip toward the ceiling. Lower back down, hip dips on the other side. Little Taylor Swift lever should get us through it, so that makes it 10 times better as it is. You knew you weren't going to see a senior workout of mine without a little bit from the queen herself, right? So create that space between the mat with your body, and then slowly come back down, bit by bit, of our thigh all the way to our hip. Can you get that hip even closer to the ceiling on this side? Exhale again as we lift. Inhale, lower. Tight core. Pulling our belly button to our spine. Getting ready to hold at the top in 3, 2, and on this one right here, holding, pausing at the top. Option to stay here, extending one leg long, or both, coming into our side plank variation membrane options with top arm and leg, holding and pausing toward the ceiling with the hip. Breathe into the forearm, breathe into the foot, rest it in the mat, and challenge yourself. You got it. It's a pause in movement, but the breath doesn't stop. It keeps sending to the parts of our body. Eye gaze up toward the ceiling if you can. Just for 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful job, lower. Back down. Way to go. Find those hand weights again. Second set of floor squats. This time, lift them up overhead, elbows in. We're going to lower down to hover. Press up as we do a little tricep extension with the hand weights, keeping them behind our head. And you saw the movement with our lower body already. So can you really focus on lowering just to that little bit of space above the heels? Then press those hips back toward the ceiling, control the movement, keep the chest lifted. Beautiful job. Let's go for 3, 2, and then let's pause at the bottom right here. 1-inch pulses with the glutes and with our hand weights. Last change and our seated floor squats. Small movement. You can do this for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful job. Exhale. Lower those hand weights to the side. Way to go. We're gonna go ahead and lower our belly onto the mat, extending the legs long. We're gonna come onto our forearms. So making an 11 shape with the arms. Let's bend the knees toward the ceiling so our feet point up. We're going to go into our single leg kick. So rotate, peeling the right thigh off the mat, lower back down. Then left thigh peels off the mat, lower back down. So it's a really small movement. But in this position, our single leg kick, we're focusing on really the muscle group opposite to our core, our low back. So again, we do that lateral breath to protect our low back, but it's really important we're working in oppositions. So when we're engaging the front part of our core, right here we're just engaging that back part. And again, try to keep that nose and eye gaze down toward the mat, maybe somewhere in between the fingertips. Try to make it a nice fluid movement. Use that flow principle here to resist any jerkiness. Let's go for 3. More in each leg. 2. And then after that last one, let's slowly lower the legs, extend the arms, going into a full body. Lift the chest and thighs off the mat, lower back down, engaging our low back, using our upper and lower body here. So exhaling as we peel the chest and thighs away from the floor. Inhale brings us back to the earth. And again, option always to bring those hands in. Whatever best suits your body's needs today. That's the thing about options. Whatever day and time we are feeling with our body. Let's take 3 more wherever we're at. Last 2. And once again, getting ready, pausing at the top on this last one. We're reaching back, rotating opposite hand behind toward our glutes. You got this. Keep those thighs peeled off the mat. Core again controls our body. Our powerhouse. Reach back. You got it. Cover the distance in this imaginary pool of swimmers for 3. More breaths. 2. And 1. Exhale. Beautiful job. Let's press back up. And this time, let's walk the feet under. So we're facing our chest toward the sky. Fingertips behind the glutes. Let's push into our reverse plank. So again, option to come back into that reverse table like we did in our warm-up, or stay here. Bend the elbows back. Press up. Engaging our triceps again. So making that shelf behind us. All about the bend in the elbows here. Either stay here or add a leg lift as we bend. Rotating each leg. So again, engaging the triceps, but the core is well in this reverse plank. Bringing each heel to the ground, or doing this movement without that lift. Let's go for 3. 2. And last one in each leg. And slowly lower back. Glutes to the mat. Beautiful job. Bring the whole upper body to the mat. Let's grab both hands onto our right knee. Extend the opposite leg long and hover with the heel. Curl the head, neck, and shoulders off the mat and switch. Opposite knee comes in. Opposite heel long. This is our single leg stretch. So use that concentration principle right here to look at your heels and legs and have them move in the same tracks each time with this movement. Exhale on the switch each time. So inhale, exhale. Either staying here or bringing our fingertips to each side of our head. Rotating opposite elbow, opposite knee in our Pilates crisscross. Maybe bicycles and other classes you've gone to. Switch and switch. Again, whatever option you need right here and now. But make sure it's challenging yourself, whichever you are choosing. Again, nothing outside our time together right here and now matters. So wherever you're at, this is about your body, your mind, and your breath. No other distraction matters right now. Let's go for 3, 2, and 1. Hug those knees in, pause for a second. Catch that breath, nice tight squeeze. Come onto the bottoms of the feet. Fingertips again behind the glutes. Let's lift those heels off the mat. Go ahead, inhale in. Exhale, extend the heels and chest to hover above the floor. Bring it back together on the inhale. Exhale and inhale. So really focus on separating both parts of the body, upper and lower, away from each other. Then they come back in together on that inhale. More than halfway through with our work together today. What are you capable of accomplishing in the rest of the time together today? Let's go for 3, 2, and on that last one, lower down. Whole body to the mat. Beautiful job. Extend the right foot toward the ceiling. We're to go into our leg circle. So go ahead. On our inhale, open the leg to the outside of the mat, lowering to a hover, and then go ahead. Exhale, circles that leg crosses over our resting leg, back up to stop. Start. So go ahead. Inhale, lower and open to the side. Exhale, cross the body with the leg up to start. So you can place your hands in capital T position on the mat if this is more comfortable for you. But really engaging the hip, inner and outer thigh. So you trace, again, that imaginary circle. So there's a paintbrush on the edge of your toe. If you were tracing this in the sand with your toe, be the same circle each time, using that precision principle to do so. Again, it's not about speed, it's about control. Inhaling as we lower to that hover, exhale as the foot swoops across the resting leg back to start. Rest the body nice and still. Let's draw 2 more circles wherever you're at. And then on your next circle, go ahead, pause with that foot lifted toward the ceiling at the top. Bending the other foot and knee in on the floor. We're going to go into a single leg bridge. So press that foot and hips toward the ceiling. Lower back down. Press up on the exhale. Inhale, lower the glutes back down. So again, option if you're not feeling that single leg bridge, bringing both feet to the mat. But again, we're really lifting onto the shoulder blades, engaging our glutes and core here. So we press up towards the ceiling. So feeling on the way down, our upper back, our lower back, and our glutes come back to the mat. You got this. Let's go for 3 more lifts on this side. 2. And on this next one, let's meet holding at the top, going to little circles with our leg lifted toward the ceiling. Again, that same imaginary circle each time, maybe it's just the size of a dime. For 5, 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, beautiful job. A little transition on the other side. Let's peel the upper body off the mat. Go ahead, slowly lower toward the mat, then press back up in a reverse crunch. So again, inhale, lower. Exhale, come up. And lower to a point where it's really challenging for you. I want it to feel like you're lowering to a point where it's difficult to come back up. But you use that strength, you use that mindset that you brought to your mat today, you come right back up. So this is a little transition over. Before we do the similar thing on the other leg, with our leg circles and our bridges. Okay, go ahead. 4 more reverse crunches at your own pace. 3, 2, and 1. Then slowly again, all the way to the mat. Lower the body, extend our opposite leg, or our left leg toward the ceiling, arms capital T position. Go ahead, inhale, open to the outer edge of your mat, lowering that heel to a hover. Exhale, leg crosses over our resting leg, back to start. In our leg circles. Doing a lot of different circles today, right? When we pause and hold, we do circles. But this is probably the biggest circle we'll see that we're tracing today. Slowly lowering to that hover. Exhale, swooping back up across the body to start. Amazing. And again, sometimes that other side of the body might feel different than the last. And that is totally fine. We're getting stronger in each movement together. Few more on this side. Wherever you're at, let's finish up with 2 more. Inhale, lower. Exhale, slowly curl up. And again, getting ready to meet me, pausing at the top when you finish that last circle. Once you're there, pause and hold. Let's bend the opposite knee. My leg is shaky. Hands come to the side, single leg, glute bridges. Press the hips toward the ceiling, shoulders roll off to our body on the mat, and press back down. Beautiful. Again, remembering that option, if you'd like, both feet on the mat. Another always option I like to offer in our bridges is extending our arms off the mat. So it's really focusing on coming onto the shoulders and placing really the movement into our glutes and core. Again, this leg extended becomes a little challenge. Glutes really control the movement on the way up, and abs resist gravity on the way down using the core. Wherever we're at, we're to hold at the top after our next 3. It's getting ready to pause at the top, and 2. And on this next one, holding at the top, keeping the leg lifted, glutes off the mat, little circles with our leg that's lifted. We can do this. Keep those hips lifted in doing so. Our last change in our bridges. Just circle. For 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful job. Release, give yourself a nice tight squeeze. Coming back to our glutes, second set of reverse crunches. Let's do it. Lower slowly and lift. So we have about 8 minutes left of some work together today. So just analyze how you felt doing the move so far, how the body is feeling. And I also offer you this time to know any changes you want to make in going forward for our last bits of work together today for the semester. Are you getting even closer to the mat with the upper body than you were the first time we did these reverse crunches? I hope so. Even further we lower than press up. For 3, 2, holding this next one at the back. Pulse it up, 1 inch up and down as we're holding low. Smallest movement. Really using that strength of our core to do so. Just a few more here. 8. Last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's hold low. Hands come behind us. Lift the feet up. Again, exhale, extend. Inhale in, second set. Full body movement. Bring that core toward our knees. Extend. Again, take these at whatever pace you'd like. As I say, slow just means more control in Pilates. Always allowed here. Let's go for 5. Last 3, 2, and 1. Come back up for a second. Pause. Catch that breath. And I'm gonna come this way so it's easier to see, but slowly lower the upper body back down to the mat. Our hands are coming to capital T position, and our legs are coming to a tabletop position. We're gonna go into a pendulum. So we're gonna slowly, on our inhale, lower the knees to the left side of our mat, sort of hover above the ground, and exhale to come back up at center tabletop. Again, inhale, lower toward the right, and a hover against the floor. Exhale, back to tabletop. So this, again, is our pendulum. We're really using, again, of course, the core, but our hips are engaged as well. Just focusing on keeping the upper body flat against the mat. I'll turn back so you can get the other view. Knees move together as 1. Pause that hover, then come back up to that tabletop position. So our exhale brings our legs lifted to start, or inhale as we lower. Let's just do 2 more to each side right here. And then right here, after our last one to each side, we're going to meet, pausing it with our legs at tabletop at center. Beautiful job. Now let's extend them toward the ceiling, reach up and down toward the feet. Feeling our shoulders off the mat. Transitioning us into our next movement. Last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold right there. I'm going to turn so again you can see this better. And we're going to go into our side to side. So go ahead. On our inhale, our right hand and foot and arm are going to open slowly to hover above the floor. And then go ahead, exhale to center. Inhale, opposite leg and arm. Move together as 1. Hover above the floor. Exhale, back up. It's like we're closing a page in a book, kind of like we're closing out this semester, this chapter together. And just really envision a string connecting your wrist to your ankle. So although we're moving 2 separate limbs at once, they're moving at the same rate and pace together as 1. And again, just slowly, one side of the body at a time. I'll turn back so you can face the other way. Again, that inhale as we lower away from the midline of the body. Exhale, lift back to center. So our legs and arms are parallel toward the ceiling on the way up. Or pointed towards the ceiling, not parallel. Beautiful. Let's do 2 more to each side wherever we're at. Slow and steady wins the race right here. Last one to each side. And then back at center. Pause those knees into our chest. Give yourself a nice tight squeeze. Come back up. But to do so, we're going to go into some little forward and back rocking movements. So you come back up to a seated position. Beautiful job. Extend the legs long. Arms reach up overhead. Reach for the heels. Come back up slowly. And lower back down to the mat. Just did a little roll up transitioner there. And then we're going to go ahead and extend the legs toward the ceiling. Right hand grabs our, and left hand grab the right thigh. And then go ahead and switch into our scissor kicks. Opposite heel lowers to hover. Opposite leg comes toward the ceiling. Stay here or curl the head, neck, and shoulders off the mat. And after this, we have one final movement together before we stretch it out in our cool down. Legs move and heels on those parallel tracks. Core at powerhouse is working so hard. Again, exhale on the switch. Just for 3. Last one. And come on in. Let's go ahead. Dive in shape with our fingertips. Place it under our sacrum where our low back meets our glutes. My most favorite way to end every class, especially Pilates, extend the legs toward the ceiling. So, Gonna lower the heels a third of the way and hold. In 3, 2, and 1, lower and hold. So already making that 60 to 45 degree angle with the legs. Should already feel the low core starting to become engaged. So maybe if your heels aren't lowered enough, you're not feeling that, lower them an inch further, closer to the ground. And just pausing and breathing again. All the way to the toes with that breath. Lower another third of the way and hold. In 3, 2, 1, lower and hold. So our heels are even closer to the ground. Really engaging the low core once again. Pause and breathe. Just one more third of the way to go. When we get there, we're curling the high neck and shoulders off the mat into our hollow hold. Little pulses with the legs. In 3, 2, 1, lower, hold, hollow hold. Pulse it up. 1 inch up and down. With the heels, eye gaze between the feet. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. This is the last bit of work together for the semester. You're using the strength of your entire body to move 1 inch. Show me what you've got. There were 15 weeks of the semester. Let's pulse it out for 15 more together. I'll keep count. Don't worry, keep moving, keep breathing. You've made it so far through class, through the semester. You are capable of so much. Don't stop. In 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, knees come in. Give yourself a nice tight squeeze. We are done with work for the day. Beautiful job. Lose that lateral breath. Nice big inhales and exhales. In through the nose, out through the nose and mouth. And let's extend our legs to one end of our mat. Arms reach up overhead to the other edge of our mat. Give yourself this nice full body stretch. Woo! So hopefully that feels great after doing a lot of core work throughout class, and we engage a lot of our other muscle groups as well. Our low back, our obliques, we get some quads, some inner and outer thighs, we did arms. So feel your body sink into the mat, appreciating it for its hard work today. Beautiful. And when you're ready, go ahead, bring your right knee in, bending it long, giving it a nice tight squeeze with your body, and then extend that leg toward the ceiling. You can reach up a little higher if you'd like, avoiding the right behind the knee. Stretching out the back of the leg. Slowing down that breath. Holding here again for just a few more seconds. And then release. That leg extends long. Let's take that left leg in, grabbing in the knee. Nice tight squeeze with the body to start. We made it. And then extend that leg toward the ceiling. Adjust your grip if you'd like to reach a little higher up. As you stretch out this side. 2 more breaths right here. And then release, extend that leg. Actually, let's keep it bent in, bring the other knee a little forward and back rocks till you can give yourself some momentum to bring yourself up to a seated position. How we're feeling? Hope we're doing all right. We're to extend the legs straight out in front of us. Inhale, reach the arms toward the ceiling. Exhale, fold the upper body forward, stretching out the hamstrings, the back of the leg. And again, just taking this time to be proud of our work together today, appreciative of our bodies. Last breath, just like yours. And come on up. Let's go ahead, glue the bottoms of the feet together, bringing them in toward our body. If you'd like to hinge a little bit forward here, can. Stretching out the inner thighs. Head comes forward. And then slowly come up. Bottoms of the feet plant into the floor. Left foot crosses over right quad. Figure 4 stretch. Keeping those shoulders pulled down from our face. And breathing. So again, thank you so much for joining me today for our 45-minute Pilates workouts. I know, again, this is a crazy time of year with finals, different things you're finishing up for work and school classes, papers, etc. So I really appreciate you making the time for you and your body today. Switch it over. Opposite foot crosses over. Opposite quad. If you like to do little circles here with the toe, you can. As we stretch out our opposite glute. One more breath. and release. Both feet come onto the mat. Our glutes come to a hover as we slowly roll up to standing, so our head is last to lift. Arms reach up overhead when we get here, and exhale, release. Let's grab on our left hand toward our left foot. Opposite arm can come out to the side for stability as we stretch out our quad. Let's runner stretch. And again, my name is Gabrielle. Thank you so much for joining me today. Please check out Campus Recreation Stories for our other senior workouts with the rest of the week. There's 2 more today and some each day. Opposite hand reaches back, opposite foot, stretching out the other quad. Find my balance here. And it really means a lot to the seniors, showing them that support on their last classes for Penn State Fitwell, so please make the time to do so. And release. Let's go ahead and take our right arm across the body, grabbing above or below the elbow. We did a little bit of arm work, so just take out that wrist. Hopefully that feels good. And switch. Opposite arm crosses over body, grab above or below the elbow. Keep that shoulder pulled down from our face. And release. Let's end class with 2 big inhales and exhales together. So go ahead, lower into a little plie squat on the inhales. The arms reach up toward the ceiling. Exhale, release. One more together. Deep breath in, lower towards the floor. Reach for the ceiling. And exhale, release. Thank you so much for joining me today for Pilates. Again, my name is Gabrielle. Really appreciate you making the time and doing so.